shit.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code, DCU, Penn's Finest, Chris Coacher, CB Culture Boy. We have another great episode for you guys today. The championship games did wrap up this weekend. Unfortunately, the Baltimore Ravens, Chris's Baltimore Ravens, did not advance to the Super Bowl. They could not beat the new Darth Vader of the league. And then over in the NFC side, the Niners stamped their ticket to the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy finally going to get to be playing in the big game after what happened last year. But really, we're going to be talking about our all-star ballots. Of course, the starters did come out, and some of us have objections. A lot of people got objections. And with the reserves coming out Thursday, we're also going to be giving our reserves and, of course, the 2 wildcard spots. And I'll really be the bulk of the episode, the reviews, and then the all-star ballots. But, of course, before we get into that, we're going to do summits, plummets, and Danny always will kick us off with that.
I'll get it kicked off. My summit is a personal summit this week. I will be in Miami this weekend.
So, I'm out here in Miami.
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
finish the line. Finish the bar for me.
I will not finish that bar. Yeah, I might see Jimmy Butler versus Kawhi Leonard if they're not ducking the heat and literally ducking the heat.
The bagless bros.
Yeah.
No bag on either of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna do double summit this week. Another personal summit for me. I placed day 2 in a poker tournament, professionals. I got 93rd out of 1,200 people. I'm him. That's pretty good.
This is not your outlet. Nah, play it, man. That's awesome. Especially, just a rando college kid placing in poker tournaments.
Yo, funniest conversation. I'm sitting there playing. They're like, yo, how many kids you got? I'm like, I'm 21.
Boy. That's crazy. How many kids you got? Yeah, that's nuts.
I'm not many 21-year-olds are coming to the casino with a full beard and like.
I mean, I don't know. I just wouldn't look at you and think you're a dad whatsoever.
I don't know.
You don't got dad strength, so.
I lost weight too, so I lost the dad strength.
Yeah, I was like,
that's where I was going.
Yeah. Well, you never had the dad strength.
Chill.
Chris don't even got the dad strength yet. He just got that 30+ strength.
Yeah, and that barely works. To be honest with you, barely.
Chris, you're halfway to the unk strength.
Unk strength's crazy, man.
I can get Shannon Sharp strength in my unk age. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, bro. If I was ever as strong as Shannon Sharp, I would not be doing this show. I would be, I don't know,
doing this.
I'd be a bouncer probably.
Bro would be playing for the Niners.
I am not taking Kyle Juszczyk's spot.
No,
he's really just, bro. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. He could go to like 27 other teams and just be a starting tight end. Like he's just nimble like that.
He's nice.
We get to go to Chris for his summit and plummet.
Well,
we know what the plummet is.
Yeah, the plummet is. I thought I was gonna watch a football game last Sunday, but somehow all the TVs in the world broke. Aliens came down and replaced Todd Monken with me, and I just threw the ball
with Brian Johnson.
Or
Arthur Smith.
Me and Brian Johnson put together. I've never seen something like that. You run the ball 36 times a week before, and then you go out there and be like, that worked. Cool, let's run it 6 times on running backs. I'm not sure. Very sad, very disappointed. And the reason I'm disappointed, and it's because of my plummet, it was very winnable. Like, the defense didn't give up any points. I mean, the Ravens didn't score any points in the second half, but the defense didn't give up any points to a Patrick Mahomes team. That's unheard of a lot of times. And in those type of games, you have to win those. I think it was such a winnable game. And I do want to say this. Even though there's a plummet, people need to relax on Zay Flowers. He's the best player on the Ravens side of the ball on offense by far. And he might have been the best player on the field. But Kyle Hamilton might have had something to say about that. But Zay Flowers was elite all over. The mistakes he made, he'll be back. And at the end of the day, that touchback rule is my least favorite rule because I watched Justin Jefferson get a touchdown miss like that. Great play by Snead, though. That was a game-saving play, which it ended up being. So shout out to them. But that's my plummet, just watching that unfold because I feel like it was very winnable. My summit is – y'all just get all both of them out the way. My summit is the fact that I was going to say that I think Caitlin Clark is like gonna go one. I was talking to Tony about this, and I want to see her match up with. Link up with Leah Boston. So that's my summit. It looks like it's going to be like that, barring any type of weird, catastrophic, weird thing happening. So that's my summit. The WNBA is about to be back, and I'll have another dynamic duo to root for.
Yeah, one thing to say about the Zay Flowers play fumbling. I mean, I feel like it's been in the NFL this way for so many years. You can't change it. That it's going to be a touchback. Also, he didn't fumble out of the end zone. The Chiefs recovered.
Yeah,
whereas,
I was going to say that too.
Hardman fumbled out of the end zone against the Bills. Like that is a debate. If fumbling out of the end zone should be I don't know about that. I think it should still be a touchback. The defense should have some sort of an advantage, right? Like the defense caused a fumble. The offense can't have every advantage.
Yeah. So where I personally think, because here's the thing, in the area of the field like that, it's essentially sacred ground. The offense only has to go so many more yards. So the defense
tush push. Come on.
Exactly. Like even if let's say it's at the 1, like it's just automatic. So like I just think having that rule, if you're going to extend for the goal line, like you're taking a risk in reaching out. And everywhere else on the field, yes, there's no risk, but 6 points is on the line here. So I think that I get why people don't like it, but rules are rules, and I personally like the rule. I mean, most sacred area of the field, you should don't play with your meat. Don't play with your meat. Like Glenn Rivers said, do not play with that meat.
I mean,
but
realistically, what did Cam Newton used to dunk on people? He used to go over top. I'm jumping
higher.
No,
all right. Cam is different. He held the ball out like this and dunked it on people's head and pulled the ball back. Like he held on to the ball. He was like actually dunking on people. It was insane. Like, I don't know, man. Like, Cam,
elite game manager dunker.
Elite. Yeah, this is why I hate. Like, people compare his rushing touchdowns to Jalen Hurts, bro. Cam, 2015 and the year after, bro, he was laying everything on the line, like everything. Jalen, not to say he doesn't give 100% effort every single time, but like in terms of putting your body on the line, you know, as mobile quarterbacks, we're trying to be, longevity. Like we're trying to stay healthy. And of course, I say we because I known JV quarterback one time.
Definitely one game.
Definitely mobile. Quarterback rating was pretty crazy.
You were playing a bunch of juvenile criminals.
No, we were playing Radner.
I thought you were playing Glenn Mills.
No, Glenn Mills was freshman year. We were on the freshman team, and then like last second they were like, "Oh, if y'all want to play in the JV game, yeah, go ahead." We got smoked, but hey, you'll never guess who threw me that touchdown that day.
Nate DeSenzi, say no.
Gaetano.
Anyway,
crazy,
Chris,
right? Anyway,
Chris, you're amazed. We played against criminals in high school.
Yeah, Glenn Mills was like it was like a school for juveniles. And they didn't really have access to like technology and stuff like that. They were almost like reverse Amish people.
Reverse Amish?
So when we went there, my sophomore year is, for me, is 2018. 2018, keep that in mind. They're getting lit to Look at My Dab. I swear. 3-year-old song. And that was like what they played because that was what they knew. That was what was lit for them. It was so crazy.
It's so much to unpack there for me. So much
we got absolutely screwed, man. Our man's Denadre, my favorite wall worker now.
He
huffed on somebody so bad. It took it 80 yards to the crib. They call it offensive pass interference. Our defensive coordinator went on Twitter after the game, looked at the all 22 angle, posted it, and he was like, dude, he like tagged the referee committee. He was like, yeah, this is so bullshit.
Bro said all 22 angles.
That's the all 20. That's the all 22. Is the end zone angle.
The Delco all 22.
It was the Chai all 22 for your information. I might actually take this beginning of the episode to rehash on some old high school stuff. That was pretty fun. But I actually do have a summit. My summit also, like Danny, not really sports related. I'm picking up Spanish again. I need to get back into
Miami.
That.
He's moving to Miami.
I feel as if I don't inherit my culture a little bit enough. So, we're starting from ground zero. Starting
Did
from
someone call you white?
Nah, I was just like I have a manager who speaks Spanish. I'm just kind of like I have this same ability to do so, so I have to capitalize on it. But just starting small, baby steps, and then my plummet. What is the plummet, man? What's going on? I guess really the only bad thing was Kristaps twisted his ankle pretty bad. But I mean he hit his leg on my parlay before he got hurt, so I can't even be too mad at him. He handled business and got on out of there. One thing he's gonna do, bro, he's gonna torch the Heat because you switch him because they get the switch onto a smaller guy, bro. He's just like he's either on the post and he's just gonna shoot that thing right over, or he's on three and he's shooting that thing. Like
They forget he's 7'3". They forget.
That's my favorite Celtics player of all time. We got a 7'3" dude who can shoot. We got 7'3" Klay Thompson, and the way he shoots, he like catapults it. It's like it's so satisfying. It's such a quick release. Yeah, I don't know. No, this turned into a stomach that the Celtics have Kristaps Porzingis. I'm muy happy. Muy bien.
You know what's crazy? I saw the thing. They said Jaylen Brown's going for 70 next, and then they were playing the Clippers at home, and he had like 6.
Oh, he had like 6. We got smoked by the Clippers, man. I'm not even mad at that game, bro. It was just like
It was
getting
crazy.
outdone right now.
No one on the Clippers had a crazy game.
No one. Everybody just played good. It just made me mad. And the thing, that's why I texted y'all. I was like, we'll get down. Like another team will go on a run. Joe will call a timeout. He's gotten better at that. But we go out of the timeout and nothing changes. Like, I don't understand. Like, here's the thing. And a lot of people are like, well, y'all are blaming Joe for like Jaylen Brown doing stupid stuff. Jaylen Brown's doing stupid stuff. Bench his ass. Like, we got 2 guards we can go to. We have another wing we can go to. If we want to run it, I don't think Kristaps was playing, but like, bro, throw Lamar Stevens out there. At least he's good for defense. And he doesn't really have a role on offense, but that's not really what we need right now. We need pack stops, but neither here nor there. Unfortunately, Chris, I think we're just going to have to rip off the Band-Aid, man. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about Ravens Chiefs.
Yeah, Chris, I want to hear from you.
Yeah, I'll say I want to. Yeah, we can start there.
Let's start like a kid. What are the positive takeaways, and then we'll go to the negatives.
Yeah.
Okay.
What made you happy, and what hurt your feelings?
I have tears in my eyes just thinking about it. What made me happy is that after Kyle Hamilton got absolutely Kelsey'd on that first touchdown, he figured it out, and he played great after that. And he actually wasn't playing bad defense. I mean, it is Travis Kelce. I mean, one of one at the end of the day. So I mean, that made me happy. Zay Flowers made me happy as well because, like I said, besides those plays, he was the only person really making sense. Like that, he looked like Zay of the season. That's basically what I'm trying to say. That was nice to see. Matabike got a sack on Patrick Mahomes. That doesn't happen often, so shout out to Beak. That was cool.
Easy. That ain't easy.
That was cool. So I think those are really things that only things that really made me happy. I should have seen Justin Tucker a couple more times. For some reason, we just love going for them 4th and 3s. I don't understand it. But yeah, so that's what made me happy. What made me sad? I'll start really quick. Rip Band-Aid off. Nelson Aguilar was RB2. Unfortunate. That really made me very, very sad. The fact that Mark Andrews came back and then the offense forgot about Likely and Mark Andrews. Neither one of them got the ball. So that sucked a lot. Seeing OBJ catch a few passes in the third quarter was cool. But also at the same time, it's like, what are we doing? Rashad Bateman was open so many times, but then also I don't even trust him to catch the ball. So that made me sad. I don't know if I want him to throw it. I don't know what I wanted. I was just in confusion. But the thing that made me the most sad is that we went away from everything that worked all year. Everything. Lamar went away from the randomness that makes him special. And the reason I say that, you can tell at some points he was trying to prove doubters wrong. I can be a pocket passer. No matter what, I can stand in here and take a hit. You don't have to do that, bro. The people who are fans of the Ravens, fans of you as a player, we understand that what makes you special is the fact that you can get out of those plays and make a 40-yard run out of nothing. That's what makes you special. At the end of the day, you kind of clipped a little bit of that by, I think, trying to over be a pocket passer. Now, it could be because of some of the pressure that Patrick Mahomes puts on teams, because you know you have to go be great to beat him, because he's going to put up points, he's going to put pressure on the defense, so on and so forth. But that's really what made me that's really my takeaways from the game. I'm not like super disappointed. Not like we lost to, I was gonna say Dak Prescott. Yeah, not like we lost to Dak Prescott. We lost to Patrick Mahomes. The second
the best ever. TB.
only second to Brady as of right now because of accolades and longevity, and that'll probably be passed at some point. So I'm not necessarily sad about that. I'm not embarrassed, but it's just like I said, it just felt so attainable because it really was. And to watch our defense literally shut them out in the second half and not to be able to win when we're really only down 7, it's difficult. It's difficult. So yeah, that was really it.
This is how LeBron's gonna feel when he comes to the Sixers and loses to Wemby in the finals in 2 years.
Unfortunately, you got it back.
LeBron is. You think LeBron
is going to first of all, Bronny, and then Bron's going to be a Spur. Boom.
That's probably
we need that. Oh, we need all that. We need all that. So first of all, you got true point guard Bronny James. You got the vet LeBron, good locker room guy, I guess. And then you got Wemby. So.
And don't forget, Devontae Graham's still under contract. Charlotte Hornet legend, by the way.
Charlotte Hornet legend. And then, of course, you're going to have LeBron's best buddy in the league, Jeremy Sohan.
Ooh,
they get along so well.
They're releasing him. The day LeBron signs, he's getting released. He's getting traded.
We'll talk about it more later.
Gone.
Though he been nice. He been nice since Trey started.
Team.
And they bumped him back to the 4. And then they went Trey Vassell. Who they insert into the starting lineup instead? They bumped Wemby to center. You got Stonehan.
Right? I think Keldon's on the bench.
Keldon comes off the bench, which I think is a beautiful move for them.
Smart.
But anyway, we're talking about the AFC Championship game.
AFC Championship game. I'm going to tune in. I think what we saw in this game was pure dominance by the Kansas City Chiefs. The first drive, you saw the Chiefs open up. They went down like they had Tyreek Hill and Kelsey again. Everyone was firing on all cylinders. This team turns it on at the right time every single year. And you just don't know how to stop it, because I feel like Mahomes coasts through the regular season. And then he just like, I got a shot at the playoffs. Let's go. And it's so impossible to stop these two guys together. And as long as you have Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, you might as well bet those guys to win. And they're underdogs again in the Super Bowl. Mahomes is the underdog for the first time 3 straight games in his career ever. That's insane. That's insane. That even as a rookie, he was an underdog 3 straight games.
True. Yeah, it's hilarious because the last time they met the Niners in the Super Bowl, they were also the first team to win 3 straight playoff games by trailing by double digits. They were down 24 to the Texans. They ended up scoring, I think, 7 straight touchdowns and beating them by double digits. Titans, they were down by double digits. They won by double digits. Niners, they were down by double digits. They won by double digits. Their dominance it's been around for a while. One thing I want to note, credit Chiefs defense. I think even me personally, I picked the Chiefs to win, but I underrated them, I think, a little bit, man. I mean, this is the 4th best scoring offense in the NFL. The Baltimore Ravens, they score 28.4 points per game, held to just 10. That's beautiful, beautiful work by Spags. Held them below their average yard mark as well. Ravens were 6th in the league in total yards. They were held under that mark. And I mean, I'm praising both defenses here. I mean, the Ravens held the Chiefs under 100 yards. Mike McDonald, the Chiefs came out and they punched him in the mouth. But what Mike McDonald did from that point on simply just made the perfect adjustments. I would personally say in the second half, I think he outcoached Andy Reid. I really do. I think he figured out how to get, what he wanted out of Kyle Hamilton. Obviously, we talked about the first drive. He did get beat there. He got beat on 2 plays on a drive. But after that, I mean, he was so locked in. He might have been the best. He was certainly the best player for the Ravens that day. So that kid, I mean, me and Danny both were agreeing in that draft class. He was the best player in that class. And I still do feel that way, regardless of positional value or putting positional value to the side, not regardless of it. But, and as for the offense, I mean, Chris touched on it. I mean, only 9 non-Lamar Jackson carries, and only 6 of them were to running backs. It's completely unacceptable. You are taking just the entire life out of your offense. What made everything easy is just gone.
I will say they had negative game script. They had to throw the ball more than they usually plan to. They haven't played behind much this year. Even the games that they lost to the Steelers, they were ahead or tied most of the game when they lost 17-10. And then they could still run the ball. Going down 17-7, maybe they kind of panicked and said,
absolutely. Todd Monken panicked 100%. I love that point you just made because it was 14-7 at halftime, or it was 17-7 at halftime. Chiefs didn't even score in the second half.
Nope.
So you have 30 extra minutes of football and you can't run the ball. Like, that's completely unacceptable, and it's not fair to Lamar. And look, as you know, excuse like as it seems, like Aguilar had drops and they weren't getting the tight ends involved in the offense and the run game. Lamar can't get off scot-free here, man. He did not play a good ball game
at all.
And I know what NFL fans are thinking on that likely pass interference. You know that thing where quarterbacks throw the ball deep and they'll get bailed out by an underthrown ball is bailed out by pass interference. You're not always going to get it, especially when the ball is that uncatchable that a DB has to undercut everything to get to where he wants. I can't throw a flag there. And Lamar shouldn't have thrown it like that. You got to put that – if you put that over the top and you give likely a jump ball, maybe we're talking. But
you could throw a pearl right over top, and if you throw a pearl back at the end zone, it's a touchdown.
Give your guy a chance. Like,
the thing is,
likely, the big tight end.
The second one was most definitely a pass interference.
Was that one also with likely?
Yes, that one was
okay. My thought process thinking as a referee here, my thought process is the guy went to jump the route and ran into him, but you can't really call they just ran into each other. I know there's a screenshot. It looks like he's holding him, but he's not really holding him in real time. He kind of just runs into him.
I know, but
he's not holding him. He's not holding him. And the ball's not thrown that way, so you can't call pass interference.
It's like he ran into him as soon as likely tried to turn upfield.
Yeah, look, refs are human, man. And here's the thing. We already talked about this. The Ravens had several opportunities to win this game. The refs just don't throw a red zone pick and don't have a red zone fumble. That's Chris, 2 touchdowns right there.
I know you're praising Zay Flowers for what he did, that taunting penalty. Can't do it.
That was okay.
First of all, this is my thing on the taunting. If they're going to call that, they should have been calling taunting the whole game. On Roquan should have got 4 of them. Travis Kelce should have got 12. It should have been so many. Now I'm with you on the fact of timing. Timing is rough to risk it right there after such a big play. I'm with you on that. But I think the reason why he went so hard because they were letting it go the whole game. It was so
you can celebrate and flex. I think when he threw the ball, when he spun the ball and hit him, that's where they called the taunting. Because you can get in a guy's face and be rough, but as soon as you start throwing things at people is where the refs get in nitty gritty.
I get it, yeah. It's just it's like what Chris said. It was like y'all were letting it slide all game. It's just trust me. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like.
I'm with you. It was a little egregious though, Danny. I'm with you. It was a lot, but I think the reason why he might have went so hard is, of course, adrenaline from the game. I think, but also too, as much as they were letting Travis Kelce and Roquan Smith were banging helmets for 60 minutes without even play being ran. As soon as anything happened, boom, boom, the whole game. I'm like, bro, they were letting late hits fly low key. If y'all seen a couple out of bounds, a couple low hits on Mahomes even happened. They weren't even going. So I'm like, I think he might have messed around, got carried away, and lost in the fact of, they're not calling him. Let me just wild out. And he wild out. He sold. He definitely sold.
Yeah, I would say I know how it feels for a certain play style to be allowed all game, and then near the end of the game, when it really matters, they finally call the ticky-tacky foul against the Chiefs. I totally understand.
Yeah.
But last point I wanted to make about this game, the Chiefs offense, they did a good job coming out hot because McDonald shut it down complete. After those 2 drives, no more. But here's the thing, man. Patrick Mahomes threw 39 times, and the weather was not pretty. So he damn near threw 40 times, and he completed 76% of his passes. When you just got a guy who can do that, a guy who is able to complete the game-sealing pass to MVS, It's just like, man, look, 17 points does not really do it justice. How much Mahomes, like, how much he balled this game. Like,
Yeah.
started, I think, 14 for 14 or something like that, just getting whatever he wanted. But, I mean, credit to the Ravens defense for at least bouncing back, at least, making this a game. But the Chiefs just did a good job just coming out hot. Mahomes, being himself. And that's why he is TBE.
Yeah. And
The
one
best
thing
ever.
that
Don't ever question
I
you
would
know
like to
better.
say, one thing I'd like to say about Mahomes, you don't see what you used to see out of him though. He's more of like I'm just gonna get it done how I need to in this system. He used to run around, spin around somebody, and then like I remember the Bucks game when they played the Bucks in the Super Bowl. Remember that he like went to the goal line and threw the ball in the air.
Yeah. The joke was nice.
You don't see that. I mean, it was really nice. You don't see it anymore though. He still makes plays out of structure, but he's not. Oh shit! What am I doing out of structure anymore?
Are you trying to say Mahomes isn't Mahomey anymore?
No, he's less of the.
I'm telling you, man, bro. He's a
randomness.
gunslinger. He's a gunslinger that doesn't have the issues. He
used
can
to.
he can
He
make
used
big
to.
throws. He's like Aaron. He's like a more aggressive Aaron Rodgers. He's like Kevin
Yeah, but
Durant. If Kevin Durant wanted to take 30 shots a game, that's what Patrick Mahomes is.
every game, not
Like
the game,
exactly. Like
every
if
game.
Kevin Durant just put up 30 shots a game, my brother in Christ would be averaging 38. And yeah, he always says in his head, yeah, but like I'd probably only make like 42%. You're Kevin Durant. You still shoot 50, 40, 90, averaging 38 a game.
Yeah, and it's so impressive for Mahomes to do this after all these doubters. Oh, you lost
Yeah.
Juju. Oh, you lost everyone. Kadarius Toney's not even playing. I mean, he might be a negative. That might be benefit for the
People
Chiefs.
were
But like,
and us included, we were just like they have not shown me anything to like, can I just trust you to turn around in the playoffs? I trust Mahomes, but is that receiver room so bad that it
man,
overcomes Patrick Mahomes?
I
Clearly
don't
not.
think Mahomes. I don't think that. I don't think we're wrong. I think that Travis Kelce just is that fucking good, dude.
I
He
see. I don't
had
know if Kelsey's just having a couple hot games or like
no.
maybe he's
He's
just
just
not
that good,
washed.
dude.
Like I don't know. I don't know.
He okay. The narrative that he was washed was far beyond messed up.
It was getting bad though. It was getting bad.
He had a great season aside from December.
Yeah, that's true. There was like a stretch of games like when Taylor was in attendance, dude was averaging like 140 yards a game. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
So I hate that like it's kind of very similar. Travis Kelce's season is like very synonymous with the Eagles' season. You got really hot in the beginning, kind of
yeah,
peaked, and then in December it kind of fell off. Except
yeah. That
Kelsey's
dude, that the Chargers game,
one
the
of the
same
best in his
day as
career.
we went to Dolphin, dude, he went nuts, man. He went entirely bonkers. But I would say if we don't have anything else to talk about on that end, we can go to the NFC Championship game. Where I guess I can get things kicked off.
What am I doing?
Choking. And that's what the Lions did. And same thing that the Ravens did, and I'm not sure why. Here are these stats: 182 rushing yards, 6 yards in attempt. Why are you going away from that? You have zero reason to be going away from that. It's working. Jahmyr Gibbs was getting to the edge, getting out of space, making people miss, making Fred Warner of all people miss. I don't know why you don't get away from that. 17-point advantage. If you have a 17-point advantage at any point in the ball game, why the hell is Jared Goff throwing 41 times? Jared Goff, fringe top 10 quarterback, probably a top 10 quarterback, depending on who you ask. Why is he throwing 41 times when you have 182 rushing yards? It's just no reason for that. And I think that Ben Johnson was asking for a certain amount on his contract as a head coach. I think people watched that game and was kind of like, this is how you're going to act in the big moments. I mean, granted, if you're like the Commanders, we're probably not going to be there soon, but like, is this really what we're going to do? We're going to make Sam Howell or whoever our quarterback's going to be throw 41 times with a 17-point lead. It's just, I don't know. That's not acceptable. And Dan Campbell needs to bite the bullet, man. You cannot be the tough guy all the time. You can't be the super aggressive guy all the time. You got the lead. Take your points. Add on to your lead. It's not that big of a deal. Like, not everything's going to end in a touchdown. So Yeah, there were dropped, and yes, plays were left out there by the players. It's not really all on the coaches. Drop picks, drop passes. Reynolds, the interception. Um, but but Dan Campbell, man, stop playing with that meat. Stop playing with that meat. Get your points. He got to stop playing with his meat. What other coach did we say have to stop playing with his meat? It was someone else.
Greg
I can't
Roman.
think
Say now.
Todd Monken, stop playing with your meat. But Niners offense, I just want to say real quick, Niners offense, they leaned on CMC really well. Brock Purdy, again, I'll say this as a Niner offense as a whole. If you start slow against the Chiefs, it's over. They will finish it in 15 minutes because you're not coming back on them. Mahomes doesn't really let up leads like that. It happened once against the Bengals. It won't happen again. So, but way to lean on CMC. He had over 100 scrimmage yards. Brock Purdy, I love that he made it a point to get Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel the ball. Couldn't really get it to Kittle a lot, but Brandon Ayuk, huge on third down, as always, made the play of the day that really shifted the tide, caught the touchdown as well. I'll give Brock his credit, though. Again, not his strongest game, but he used his legs when need be, made plays. I think 48 rushing yards. He had like 51 before the kneel downs, but hell of a job by him in the second half to get his team back in it. Of course, got bailed a little bit, but yeah, that was my thoughts. Someone else wants to kick it off.
If you know me, I'm not a big Brock Purdy guy. I'm not a fan. I think he's fringe 20 quarterback, top 20 quarterback. I don't think he's that great. He's okay. I mean, he's average. I think this is one of the better games he's ever played in his career so far. I think to get punched in the face going down 17 points and to look your coach in the eyes and say, we have a chance to come back is still very impressive. And the way he did it, playing out of structure, which he usually doesn't do. He usually just throws screens and check downs and medium routes across the middle, extending plays and throwing back across the middle to Juwan Jennings on third down. That, like you said, that play to Ayuk, these things are showing progressions in his game because he used to just sit in the pocket, and if he doesn't have his first, second read, he's done. Now he's taken off. Now they're going to have to spy Willie Gay or Nick Bolton on him in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs have at least some film on now where they can say, oh, this guy is sneaky athletic. He's like Carson Wentz tier athleticism.
Watch your fucking mouth, boy. Don't ever say that again in your life. You had me a sneaky athletic, and then you said Carson Wentz level. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Current Carson Wentz. I'm kidding. I got
Carson Wentz beating him in a 40.
Probably. But Brock Purdy his athleticism is definitely something that put the Chiefs on watch now. They're like, oh, this guy's not just some bum. He's not Jared Goff, a statue in the pocket.
Yeah, well, I'm not wasting a spy on.
I'm not spying him, but
I'm not worried about him running because personally, the Lions pass rush
is weak.
May we say fraudulent? May we say Linsanity run? Because their D-line's just simply not as good as Kansas City's. Chris Jones, Karlaftis, you got Bolton on the blitz.
Menahu did tear his ACL.
Yeah, but you still have Chris Jones, who guy's good. So
if you want to see how good he is, watch his NFL draft 40-yard dash.
Yeah. Go look up Chris Jones 40-yard dash. I did have a quick comment on the Lions defense. Didn't have a bad start, but I kind of credit that just towards the Niners just not starting well. But second half, Aaron Glenn got absolutely cooked by Kyle Shanahan. Like, absolutely cooked. Did not adjust. And now he's got a head coaching interview with the Commanders. And it just gives a lot of, like, Jonathan Gannon vibes. Like, he just got cooked, and now he's about to be a head coach. It's like, But Gannon, it turned out pretty well for him. They have a good situation going on there in Arizona. But, Chris, your two absolute favorite quarterbacks were playing, though, so we do have to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, my hope of both teams losing did not come true because it can't come true. And respect to Brock Purdy, honestly. I think what Danny said really sums up. I'm not going to take much time. For that dude to come down, for him to be down 17-0, and for him and I'll even say, I think he led the 49ers back. Really did. Like Brock Purdy's play is what led them and gave them confidence to, come back and win again. Not saying that they thought they were just out, but I think him playing as good as he did, I think it's like, oh, okay, maybe we do got a chance. So just respect to Brock Purdy for coming back in a huge pressure game, because if he would have lost, it would have been, I told you so. And now it's like we got another time to see him perform against Mahomes. So just respect to him for what he did. The Lions definitely sold. CJ Gardner-Johnson deserves nothing good, so I'm happy that he just take a L. He's a cool guy. I like him until he was hating on a lot of people that I do like Deebo Samuel.
I tell you what, if he was on your team though,
I love him. I hated Marcus Williams before he was a Raven. Now I love him. So, but yeah, I think the Lions had a really good season. Have something to build on. I think you just same thing the Ravens did. You don't make those weird mistakes and go away from what got you there. That's it.
I kind of doubt. Actually, speaking of Gardner-Johnson, I doubt anyone's giving him a multi-year deal. Considering coming off the pec tear, if he didn't land a multi-year deal after that Philly year, I don't know what was going to land him one. So he'll be on the market once again, and the Eagles should.
All I'm saying is Geno Stone might be a free agent casualty.
He burned that bridge, dude.
He did not burn that bridge. Don't say that. Don't say that.
It appears that he was talking shit. The Eagles were currently cleaning his locker out.
Bro, they wasn't. He didn't say anything bad about the Eagles. He was just like, he just had confidence in his squad. That's nothing wrong with that. He was like, I think this Lions team got more talent. Looking back on it, I mean, it wasn't a crazy statement. I think it's wrong. I think the Eagles have the better roster than Detroit, but no, I'm still rocking with him. I don't care if he goes anywhere. I'd love to see him.
Pittsburgh.
See him go to Pittsburgh. Yep, I'd love to see him go to Pittsburgh, or go to Baltimore. I think he would fit nicely because he's originally a slot corner, so he can play there. And then you still have Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton up at safety. Ooh, it could get
imagine
and then you have Rocky Oseen outside corner too. Yeah, we're cooking.
And Minka and CJ Gardner-Johnson with Mike Tomlin. That's scary, man.
Antonio Brown and Mike Tomlin via the Pivot Podcast.
CT ESPN.
Headphones and a clipboard. Y'all know that ain't happening.
The Steelers do love their slot corners. That's all I'll say.
Hell yeah, brother.
So
y'all remember y'all had Joe Hayden? Brown's
Joe
legend?
Hayden, he's a legend.
He's now Steelers. Y'all, how much do y'all appreciate Lions legend Zach Ertz now?
Yo, he didn't even play a game. He probably
he literally signed to the worst possible team if he wanted to go ring chase. Should just go away with Mahomes.
He should have went to literally the Chiefs.
Yes, he just pair up with Kelsey.
No, he's pair up with the guy that drafted him.
Huh?
Didn't Andy Reid draft him?
No, he did not. Chip did. I don't care, man. Chip was lit his first year, dog. And his first 2 years actually. As a GM, no, but he had Mark Sanchez on the cusp of the playoffs, man. I personally don't hate Chip the coach. I hate Chip the GM because he cut Deshaun Jackson and traded LaShawn McCoy. But
sorry.
Do we have anything else to add about this?
Yeah, sorry about that though. My time frame is thrown off by a year. Chip coached 2013. Ertz was drafted in 2013. So
yep. He was rookie tight end. When Nick Foles decided to go nuts.
I wonder if Chip's got signed on, and then like Reed was fired.
Andy Reid got Black Monday, brother.
Yeah, I know we got Black Monday, but so I wonder
Andy Reid got blacked. If we want to put it that way, but he got fired ASAP. He got beat like 42-0 in the last game of the year. It was bad, man.
I love it when the Eagles coaches get fired. You know it's coming.
It's just so well. Doug Peterson, I wasn't sure if he was getting fired. I kind of don't think he deserved to, but
he threw a football game.
He was looking out for Howie. He was trying to get them that good draft spot, and we ended up getting Devontae Smith. So what are we complaining for? Jalen had 2 touchdowns.
The Giants probably hate y'all for that.
The Giant, bro, you won 6 football games. You don't deserve to go to the playoffs, man. Stop blaming somebody else. I hate that. But with that being said, we can move on to our all-star ballots. Of course, the starters did come out. We're gonna talk about the starters that were released. Talk about any snubs, and then we'll give our own picks for the reserves. But I just want to point it out there right now. I think all of us are in agreement. The West starters are perfect. We don't really need to discuss any snubs over there. We're cool with SGA, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. We'll go with that as our starting crew. Over to the East. Over to the East, big issue. The East nailed it with 4 of the 5 spots. Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, for sure bona fide starters. That second guard spot is the hot topic of debate. Damian Lillard got the spot, and a big part of it is because 25% of the vote goes to the fan vote. I'm pretty sure he was 2 on the fan vote, and it's just like, he's been picking it up lately, but like, damn, no. I want to ask. I know Chris's answer, but Danny, who Halliburton's one of the starting guards? Who would you have personally put as the second? Who'd you have as your second guard?
It's a hard question, man. Because you're looking at the NBA,
it's loaded.
Like it's a loaded question. Like, look, legitimately, you could go with Maxey, Trae Young. I don't hate Damian Lillard, but I'm actually going to go with the guy in New York, in Jalen Brunson.
Fair. I think a lot of people were vouching for Mr. Brunson.
So I think to be an all-star starter, you should be a number 1 on a team, leading your team, and that's not what is going on with the Milwaukee Bucks. Because I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is the clear number 1, and Dame is the clear number 2. And it's not that Dame is like a 2. He's not a 2. I mean, I think he's a 1A, 1B type of guy. But you saw what the Bucks what happened to the Bucks when Giannis was out and they had played Dame. With the Knicks, their whole offense is Jalen Brunson. He brings the ball up, he distributes, he ISOs. The New York Knicks are nothing without Jalen Brunson, and now they added OG. So like they started to develop more of like an identity behind that. But
that team is nice.
It's good. That team came into Philly and beat the shit out of the Sixers. I can't complain. Like, this team is very good. I still think they're right behind. Like, I think they're like a 4 or 5 seed at best.
I'll tell you what, I think
they can't guard Embiid. I'll tell you
that. Yeah, I mean, but who can? That's not a bad thing. But tell you what, though, everybody else getting strapped. Everybody else on that Sixers team was getting strapped. I mean, Josh Hart, you already know how he's coming. OG, DiVincenzo, like the fact that they don't have their elite rim protector in Mitchell Robinson, and their defense has just gotten better because of OG. It's certainly saying. But yeah, Chris, I know he's big on Brunson as well, but I'm going to provide some parity. I had Donovan Mitchell as my second starting guard. I think the Cavs did not get out to the hottest start to start the year, and then you lose your starting point guard to a broken jaw, and then you lose your young 4/5 in Evan Mobley for a couple weeks. And Donovan Mitchell's response is, me and my boys going to go on like this 7-game win streak, or we going to win like 8 of our last 10. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but I mean, he's averaging 27, 5, and 6 this year, and he's completely backpacking this team. He's rallied the troops. Max Strus, he's been shooing. Georges Niang had almost a perfect game the other day. So I had Donovan Mitchell there. I'm completely fine with Jalen Brunson as well. I think both of them deserved it over Damian Lillard. So at least we're in agreement that it's one of them. But I'll swing it to Chris. Chris, can you give us your 5 reserves and then your 2 wild cards?
For the East, right?
Yep. Well, yeah, we'll start East.
Okay. So my 5 reserves for the East is the guy I was going to say instead of Brunson. I was with you on Donovan Mitchell, so Mitchell's my first reserve. Second reserve, because somebody at some point has to put some respect on this guy's name. I don't care about the team's record. Trae Young is my second guard off the bench. These next two may come as a surprise. My two forwards are Paolo Banchero is my forward, and I have Scotty Barnes too. I'm not the biggest Scotty Barnes fans, but the way Scotty Barnes has been playing, I think he's picking up, and I think it's only going to get better. So it's maybe like a kind of projection pick a little bit. But I got Scotty Barnes, and then center, the guy I've been lobbying for all year, Bam. Bam's my backup center, and the way I put that is like almost after Embiid is like, who do you even think about in the East? Next, is it Vucevic? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think Bam's my guy there. I was gonna say KP, but KP missed a little bit of time. So
he missed too much time to make the game, but you know the guys deserve it. That's fine.
Yeah. So that was I was in between him, and then the two wild cards I have Jaylen Brown, and then I had Julius Randle, but I'm sure he's gonna miss it, so I put Tyrese Maxey instead.
Nice. Okay. So Dame just doesn't make your game.
No, he doesn't, and I'll tell you why. And it's not even like I'm trying to hate on Dame bad. It's really just at the end of the day, bro. I think the guards have been better than him this year. I can name, if it's 4 guards on the team, especially if you're going by guard, I can name 4 guards that have been better than Dame. Are they better than Dame all time, or at currently? I wouldn't say so, but better seasons, like just statistically, which is kind of what it's about. At the end of the day, I'd pick Mitchell, Trae, Brunson, Halliburton. Those would be my 4, and then Dame would just miss it. Dame would be my 5th guard. Or I'm sorry, and Maxey would be on too. So that'd be my 5th. Him and Dame, you could probably swap. Maxey's more of I feel like he's most improved player for one, and I feel like he should get more love. So this is kind of like me, trying to throw him in there. So I wouldn't be mad at Dame making it over Maxey, but yeah, that's my thing.
Daddy, did you have your list ready, or do you want me to go first?
I have my list ready.
All right, go ahead.
So at the guard, I think it should be Dame, but I think it's going to be Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell. At the forward, I like Jaylen Brown, Paolo Banchero. And it's going to sound crazy. Give me Bam Adebayo. And then at the wild,
who are the wild cards?
At the wild card, you can't go with an NBA All-Star game without Mr. Flashy himself, Trae Young.
Mm-hmm.
I wish. It's going to say, 1 second. I have allergies and it's the winter, you feel me? But
yeah.
I wish this guy didn't get hurt earlier in the year. I wish there was a guy down in Charlotte who one of my favorite players to watch in the NBA.
Absolutely. He was on my snubs.
So I wish he can make it. I think I'm going to say Tyrese Maxey as a hometown Sixer. My snub, Kyle Kuzma.
I mean, when you have 8 wins, you're probably not sending anybody to the All-Star game, but
fair enough. But I mean,
he out there playing like he need badges. So, he doing him for sure.
Kuzma's having a career year for sure. Like this is
and the thing I like about Kuz, man, is that like, all right, we're on a bad team. I'm just gonna go get mine. But I know the moment he gets traded to like a contending team, he knows exactly how to lock it down as a role player, and he knows his place. And I completely love that for him.
So I'm go Danny, go man.
Kuzma reminds me of like a young Tobias Harris.
Okay, I think he's a little more. I think he's a little more. I don't know. He's a little more physical than Tobias.
Erratic, I think too.
I would say, he's not more physical than Tobias. I want to say that because Tobias, he likes to get on the post, get physical.
Big body. Yeah.
Kuz is a little bigger, I think, though. Like, a little bit of a better rebounder. Yeah. So my reserves.
They got that same.
Or did you have one more? Yeah, I get what you're coming from. My reserves, of course, Jalen Brunson, my number 1 reserve. If he was not a reserve, he should be starting. Trae Young, I got Paolo Banchero, Julius Randle, who unfortunately just dislocated his shoulder. I will have Jaylen Brown replacing him. I also have Bam Adebayo making the All-Star game. My wild cards are Tyrese Maxey and Damian Lillard. Some of my snubs, Jimmy Butler. You can't fool us, Jimmy. You can't fool us, James. We know you're good. Stop taking 11 shots a game. Start Start putting up 18. Start putting up 21 shots a game. We know you're good. We know you can average 27 if you want. But he wants to be the cool guy. I have Franz Wagner as one of my snubs. I think Paulo's obviously the number one guy on that team, but like Franz does so much for that squad. I wanted to at least show him some love. Scotty Barnes was obviously one of my snubs.
Scotty Barnes,
Scotty
the face
Barnes,
of the
man.
league.
Yep, Scotty Barnes, the face of the spectrum. I can't think of too many other like crazy like absolute snubs. Like I think if all of our lists are relatively the same, we all have the same guys except Chris has Scotty Barnes in there. But
you know the snub? May I say 3 All-Stars in one team? The Boston Celtics.
Kristaps, I think if Jaylen Brown would be the only serious snub in my like. I love Derek White. I don't think he's making the All-Star game. Kristaps not going to make it because of injuries. Drew Holiday is simply a role player, and I can't tell you how glad I am that he's just a role player now because my brother would be getting so much slander on Twitter, but it just doesn't happen anymore because like he's a 5th option. Who cares? But and it's good for him though. Now I guess we can move on over to the West. We already talked starters. We all are in agreement. Those are the starters. I guess I can start with the reserves. Oh, man, I'm almost scared to go because this thing's crazy. So my reserves, my 2 guards, Steph Curry and De'Aaron Fox. Oh, my God, my 3 forward spots. I put Kawhi. I put AD. And then I was flip-flopping between so many people. I got to put Domantas Sabonis in here. He's having like another career year. He's upped his playmaking even more somehow. So I had to get him in there. And then my 2 wild cards are going to be arguably the 2 best shooting guards in the game. Devin Booker and Anthony Edwards. SGA is a point guard. So don't take that out of context. But yeah, those are my guys. Some of my snubs. Kat, Gobert, Kyrie, Şengün, Wemby, J-Dub, Chet, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Paul George, James Harden, Lowry Markkanen, just to name a few guys who are having all-star level years and just not going to make it.
I think you named all of the snubs that me and Chris could come up with. There might be 1 or 2 that we could probably pull out of our ass. But...
Jalen Green. I was team Jalen Green coming out of draft, man. He let me down.
Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, but it sucks Şengün's not going to get in there. But, like, man, I don't think he is. I don't think they're going to get him in there.
The question is, like...
Maybe they take games into account for Devin Booker, but, like, he's officially played enough games where he can, like, count for stats now. So, his scoring got bumped up from, like, 26 to, like, damn near 29 over the, past week.
Dude, is the NBA going to go to an All-Star game without Wemby?
Yeah. His team's got like 7 wins, man. Unfortunately, but
an
what
All-Star
he's
game
done
is not an award though.
It is and they do that. Remember the Hawks sent 4 dudes to the All-Star game when arguably none of them were All-Stars. But it's just sometimes teams get look. I'm with you, man. I don't believe All-Stars should be based on who's winning. I think it should just be based on who's good. Like who are the 12 best guys on each side having the best year. But sometimes teams get benefits and like the Lakers. What other 8th seed is sending 2 guys there? You normally wouldn't, but look me dead in the eyes and say LeBron James and AD ain't been All-Stars this year. So, Chris, if you want to go next for your reserves.
Yep. And Danny, you my buddy. You're in for a surprise. First reserve, Devin Bean Booker. That's my guy. Okay. Next reserve, Anthony Ant-Man Edwards. That's my other guy. Third reserve, Stephen Stephen Curry. Sorry. That's my guy. Even though I hate him a little bit, that's my guy. Fourth reserve, Victor Wembanyama. I don't care how many wins they got. 20-10 as a rookie, 3 blocks, you're in. In my book, you're in.
And he's a freak. He's a freak.
He shammed out a Rudy Gobert at the 3-point line and then did a hook layup.
They called that thing the Sham Godzilla.
By the way, like he just did that like off GP, no thoughts. So he's in my All-Star game. I tell you that. My other reserve, my last reserve for the 5 is Anthony Davis. I have Anthony Davis at the 5. Now my last 2 wild card picks are De'Aaron Fox because I had to get a king in, and I was gonna put Sabonis. So Sabonis and Fox, one of those kings will get in for me. And my last reserve is Şengün. I think Şengün might miss. Well, not reserve my wild card. I think Şengün is not going to make it, but that dude's been balling. He's literally been baby Jokic, baby Sabonis, whatever you want to put in that category. He's been in that realm, and he's only going to get better as the team starts to play with them more. So I showed Şengün some love. He made mine.
I love that.
I like that. Yeah, someone got to show Şengün some love. And credit to the Freakazoid himself, Ime Udoka. He got in there day one and was like, I know what Stephen Silas was trying to do, trying to make this thing about Jabari and Jalen Green, but I know who the best player is. He's running my O. He's playing fourth quarters. He's closing things out for me.
At the end of the day, he knows a hub when he sees one. Bam, Sabonis, Jokic, Şengün. You can literally run your off, and Wemby's that too, but he just does other things. But you can literally run your offense through your 5, and that's where you let your space creators, your creators and playmakers, that's where they get their space from, having the whole court to roll around if you have a hub there.
Yeah. And then Danny, your reserves.
My reserves are as follows. At the guards, you got Steph Curry. What's an All-Star game without Wardell and Anthony Edwards?
Okay.
And then you got your 3 bigs. Well, you could call this guy big if you want. You got Paul George. You got Kawhi Leonard keeping it in LA. And I'm going Wemby. I genuinely don't think you can go an All-Star game without Victor Wembanyama.
Y'all really showing him the love.
Dude, like me and Chris are in agreement. Dude, he is generational.
Yeah.
Imagine, but like, okay, imagine LeBron as, like, just imagine them not putting. Did LeBron not make the All-Star game as rookie?
I don't know if he did, but he averaged 25 and 5, so he should have. But the NBA was a little crazy back then with wings and fours. And I think they only did that. So.
Yeah. At that time, it's like you couldn't even be mad.
T-Mac was around, Kobe was there. It was difficult.
Exactly, but like as a big, if you look at the bigs, like Vic is doing on par or better with all of them, and he's doing it as a rookie.
I think, man, I just gotta get Sabonis in there, and
I think Vic's more fun for an All-Star game, and I think head coaches choose it, right?
All right, man. If you want to do fun, if we gonna do fun, then we can redo our things. I got a completely different team, but I see the All-Star game. I see it as a award. You should be rewarded, Chris. Chris typed in the chat Saboner, bro. But if we're doing this thing all fun, man, let me get Derrick Jones Jr. in the All-Star game. If we doing this for fun, let me get Cam Thomas in this thing.
LaMelo starting playing 40 minutes.
LaMelo's gonna be playing. Zach LaVine playing.
Cam Whitmore.
Cam Whitmore's playing. Hell yeah, baby Jaylen Brown. Who's credit to him? He's been picking it up lately. So
I get that. I get that.
Look, man,
I have my 2 wild cards to go through.
Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off heavily.
My 2 wild cards are Devin Booker and Anthony Davis.
Okay.
I think those 2 are a requirement to play in an All-Star game. They are they're definitely not starters in the All-Star game at this point, but like if you look at the 2 guys that are starting in the All-Star game, they're running mates. So you got to get in the All-Star game.
Yeah, like I mean, you look at that West starting 5, it's just like there's no way to mess that up. Luka Doncic and Shea have been the 2 best guards in basketball. Not close either. Not
Luka's
close.
crazy, dude. Like
Luka and Shea have been. I like watching them. It's just like this. This is guard. Like this is what guard play should be. Like it's perfect. And then you got Kevin Durant, who look when Kevin Durant is having one of his best years, like you're not leaving him out. And what's crazy is you wouldn't even look at this and like this is a KD like one of his best years. It is. You know
what's crazy? Luka is plus 700 to win MVP right now.
He is voter fatigue for an award he's never even finished as a finalist for. And it sucks because his stats are on par with Shea, who I believe has the second or third best odds, or second and third in the running. And I'm not saying Shea don't deserve to be up there, but it's like the winning is probably that gap. If the Mavs are the 2 seed right now, Luka's probably the favorite, to be quite honest, man. He's otherworldly. It would be him or Embiid.
You want to hear his stats since January 17th?
What?
33, 13, 10, 33, 18, 13, 34, 8, and 9, 73, 10, and 7. Would have been a 73-point triple-double if his teammate didn't brick 19 threes. 28, 10, and 17. 45, 9, and 15. He's the best player on the planet right now. You can't tell me anything else. Like,
yeah.
This team is
that dude.
Ass without him.
Yeah, it is bad. And Kyrie's out again tonight, so...
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry you have to live in Dallas, but like it's probably a treat sometimes. You get to watch this, but sometimes
don't give him any pity. He gets to watch Kyrie and Luka a couple times a year, and Derrick Jones Jr. He's bound for a highlight dunk.
No more, y'all missing one. G League. Jordan Walker's in the G League. I don't know if y'all remember Jelly Fam as well as I do, but Isaiah Washington, the dark skinned short kid, Jordan Walker's in the G League. He just had 33, 7, and 10, and G League games are $5. So. I'm living a life right now.
G League games, your little local college games.
Literally.
What's their G League team down there?
It's the Texas Legends. Legends. Now, and honestly,
that sounds like an AAU team, dude.
It does, and I went to a bunch of games. Like I've got to see. I saw Jaden Hardy get 50. I watched Alex Antetokounmpo. I've watched. I watched Jordan Poole in a warm-up game when he was going to go back to the Warriors. Like this is when he was already up in the G League. I've seen a lot of good players for really cheap in the G League. And I everybody watching, if you have a G League city in your town, I would definitely just say go, because you never know what player is going to be on a rehab assignment or what young player is going to be playing. It's always a good one.
I don't know if the Sixers. I feel like I could be just remembering this wrong. I feel like
they used to be
I thought they used to be the 87ers. I don't know what I'm thinking of.
No, the Adelaide 87ers. I think that's are they in Australia? I've seen
that's probably some Australian stuff, and I'm just talking. But it seems like for our brackets, it seems like y'all are subbing Sabonis out for Wemby, and then man.
Wait. No, wait.
I can't get behind it, fam. I would love it. I would love to see it.
I found an article. Sixers changed name of newly acquired D-League affiliate to Delaware 87ers.
So I'm not tripping. Okay. Now they're the Blue Coats.
They call themselves the Sevens, though.
Yeah. Just like y'all call yourselves the Sixers. Sixers, Sevens, Seveners. I don't know. But I would say if we have...
You know who plays for the Blue Coats? Darius Baisley.
Whoa. Nice.
Yo, all I tell you is Terquavion Smith, he's him. I don't know if you watch Sixers.
Soon.
Dude, if you watch him, he provides such a spark off the bench. Because he got that Shake Milton-esque spark.
Ricky Council, one of my favorite college players of last year. Ricky Council, he can't do anything. He can jump high. He can play defense. So at some point, he'll find his way on the floor. At some point, I know he will.
Sounds like Markelle Fultz to me.
That was a nice little random player spiel we just had. Do y'all have anything to say before we wrap this thing up?
This was a pretty unique episode for us.
It definitely was. Got to talk a good amount of football and basketball, which can't wait till we can talk a lot more ball because there's a lot more agendas to get across.
Well, I can't wait to push the limit.
But thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, keep showing love. We are up to 230 subscribers, which is pretty good. We've been gaining a lot in the past month. And if you're listening to this on audio platforms, please leave a 5-star rating, and follow the podcast so you get notifications of when our newest episode drops. And make sure you leave a download if you liked the episode from AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, and DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.